The top stories: QH cutting costs, Chikungunya cases down, and Ryan Hinds is hurt by Barbados drop. Welcome to Nation News for Tuesday, February the 3rd, 2015.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your news, your time, your way.
We begin with a good news story. 2 lifeguards are being hailed as heroes after saving an unidentified man behind Ammon Beach Resort in Haywoods. British visitor Chris Bailey was on hand to witness the rescue by Jason Jilts and David Ford.
Well, I was just sitting here enjoying my holiday and I saw that there was a guy in trouble, but the lifeguards were just running along the beach to him, and they entered the water, swam really quickly, reassuring him, and he was definitely in trouble. He was starting to go under, he was being swept out to sea. They both got to him and they supported him, made sure he was okay, tried to keep him above the water, and then they brought him in. But it took them 15-20 minutes to bring him in. They were battling against the waves that were clearly pushing them under and out to sea as well. So there's absolutely no doubt, my background being in the rescue services, there's absolutely no doubt that had they not have been here, that guy would have been swept out to sea and drowned.
Mr. Bailey said that 2 lifeguards should be formally recognized for their actions, but for them, it was just another day on the job.
This is what NCC made sure that we got the training and everything for. So it's just a matter of carrying it out when you get called upon, because it's not every day that you're going to have to do it, but when the time comes that you have to do it, just make sure you can do it as good as you can.
The QEH is cutting and contriving in its response to a cash shortage. CEO Dexter James says the hospital has embarked on a conservation strategy to cut costs. He revealed that non-urgent elective surgeries and outpatient appointments may experience delays as a result. Dr. James said air conditioning units and lights are also being turned off when rooms are not in use, and less costly meals are being planned, although nutritional values won't be compromised. He made the comments on Monday as he accepted an electrocardiogram from the QEH League of Friends for the Accident and Emergency Department.
The League of Friends has partnered us in a number of ways over the last 15 to 20 years. They provided us with trolleys, wheelchairs, donations in terms of cash, and today we've received the electrocardiograph machine. The context of this is not just a machine. According to the Barbados National Registry, we have 2 to 3 strokes and heart attacks per day in Barbados. It's a very, very serious condition, and therefore this electrocardiograph machine certainly will assist our treating physicians in the diagnosis and treatment of patients presenting to the Accident and Emergency Department, and by extension the hospital.
The drier, cooler weather at this time of year is not favorable for mosquitoes, so it's no surprise that the Ministry of Health is reporting a decline in the number of confirmed cases of Chikungunya. The levels of mosquito breeding have, of course, also fallen as the wet weather has tailed off. Officials say that in the last 10 weeks of 2014, the number of confirmed cases of the disease was 6 times less than in the previous 10 weeks. Life appears to be returning to normal at the St. Elizabeth Primary School in St. Joseph following recent complaints about rats. A health official said recommendations for the cleaning of the school had been carried out and regular classes had resumed. Last Friday, teachers at St. Elizabeth refused to use the classrooms because of what they said was rat infestation. Heavily armed police officers were called out to Lower Cullimer earlier because of a dispute between young men. Nation News was informed that a verbal dispute between 2 men escalated when one of them reportedly pulled a gun and threatened to shoot the other. A call for assistance was made to police, who quickly arrived to investigate. The Caribbean Music Summit at Hilton, Barbados has ended after 3 days of discussions, networking, and hopefully business deals for local entertainers. The inaugural event attracted the likes of Matthew Knowles, who is the CEO of Music World Entertainment and father of Beyonce, and Joe Belliolotti, Coca-Cola's head of global music marketing. Also speaking were composers Elvin Ross and Joel High, who worked closely with Tyler Perry on his plays and movies. Summit co-founder Mark Fraser said the event was designed to create opportunities for local artists and musicians to connect with important people in the global music and entertainment industry. African Awareness Month activities are underway with schools leading the way. On Monday, historian Dr. Rodney Worrell told students of George Lamin Primary that Africa is the cradle of civilization, and Africans were in the forefront of the development of maths, science, and surgical techniques. At the Christchurch Foundation School, Mac Fingal told students that blacks were responsible for several inventions. He also used the words of Martin Luther King to motivate the students. Up next, Hayden Gill with this week's commentary.
The advent of social media is one of the most telling developments in recent years. One of its significant advantages is that it provides the average man with a chance to have a voice. The average man, therefore, no longer has to depend on traditional media to get a story across. Social media offers anyone from Bridgetown to Beijing the opportunity to contribute to debates on a range of issues critical to social and economic development. With this privilege, however, comes a level of responsibility. And those of us who use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media platforms must be wary that any and everything should not be posted. Irresponsible posts have potential to do irreparable damage. A recent example is the graphic images that went viral on social media after the tragedy in St. Vincent that claimed the lives of 5 school children. In this regard, the call made by Roman Catholic Bishop of Bridgetown, Jason Gordon, for public education on the role of social media and its use is a valid one. If you're not sure what is suitable or unsuitable for social media, before you post, ask yourself if it is something you will see or hear in traditional media. All of us have a role to play. Let's act responsibly.
In sport, cricket, Ryan Hinds says he's hurt by his omission from the Barbados Pride squad for the weekend's resumption of the West Indies first-class season. The match against the Leeward Islands begins on Friday at Kensington Oval, whose grass problems are over. Hinds says he's shocked by his exclusion after his performance in the last match against Guyana in November, when he scored a total of 75 runs in his 2 innings and took 4 wickets. The former West Indies batsman has apparently made way for the returning Kirk Edwards. And finally, a frisky English couple who were caught having sex in a pub toilet were pepper sprayed by police and dragged out in the nude after they refused to stop. Bar staff reported a 23-year-old woman and a 30-year-old man to police after loud noises were heard coming from the ladies' toilet. The couple, who had gone into the loo for a quickie at 8:30 in the evening, then barricaded themselves in the cubicle and refused to come out. But cops burst through the toilet door at the Stanley Jefferson pub in County Durham in northeast England and eventually used the pepper spray because the couple were reportedly unruly. They were later bailed in connection with a public order offence. And that's Nation News for Tuesday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Midweek Nation on Wednesday or subscribe to our e-paper.